How do you find your creative expression? Have you ever kept yourself from trying something creative because of this fear or this notion that I'm not creative? I can't paint, I can't draw, I can't play a musical instrument. In all honesty, we're all creative. All human beings are creative. We all crave some way to personally express ourselves. And creative expression has nothing to do with being good at painting or drawing, but it's coming back to what it is that gets you in the flow, that allows you to create something that's never existed before. And my last podcast episode, actually, my first podcast episode with Marin Masumiya, she talks about how she used the time during lockdown when we had that pandemic to find new ways to express herself creatively. First, because there were no karaoke bars available, she ended up enrolling in virtual voice lessons instead. Then she tried out a lot of different things and finally landed on trying out polymer clay crafting, where she would create figurines out of clay. She found communities online, she watched and rabbit holed on a lot of YouTube videos. And finally, she got good enough as she was doing this over time where people started saying that she should start a business. And then she did. So, not to say that all of your creative endeavors need to lead to new businesses or side hustles, but one benefit of being so curious and so focused on trying something new can lead to a career or a life you've never imagined. A few years ago, when I was on maternity leave, a few months after my first baby was born, well, let's be real. The first few months the baby was born, I was just trying to get enough sleep to function the next day. But after those clouds of haze started to clear up and I could start to think about and for myself again, I felt that call where I needed to do something just for me, some kind of self care. And what I ended up doing was committing to once a week when I could block off an hour was to grab some watercolors and some calligraphy pens and start doodling and drawing and just creating something where all I saw previously was a blank piece of paper. And what this did for me was almost meditative. It woke me up to who I was because becoming a mother for the first time is a huge transition. And I was afraid I would lose my past identity. And what ended up happening was more. I got more of life. I got to experience, right, in creating a new person. But on top of that, knowing that I didn't lose myself in the process and that I was just a better, more enhanced version of who I was before. And that the old me who still liked to paint and doodle and draw was still there. And nothing had changed except a few less hours of sleep a night. If you need some kind of inspiration to start exploring creativity for yourself, or need new ideas on, hey, I've tried this and that already, like how do I explore something new? One thing I like to do is just journal. Write about how during the course of a week, what are those things that got you excited or that you became more curious about? What brought you joy and just kind of filled you up without any effort, where you don't have to do anything? List out at the end of every day for a week, like what those things were. And that will start to get you curious about what other things you can try that bring those feelings of effortlessness and flow and curiosity and bring you joy. And that's one way to start getting clues about how you might want to creatively express yourself. Next, do what I do in terms of, I guess, window shopping for creativity. So what this looks like is if you grab like a community college course catalog and just kind of flip through what course offerings there are. Recreational programs are another good one. They typically send catalogs every quarter. Or check out marketplaces like Udemy, Skillshare, Brit and Co., all full of people teaching other people how to do new things. And even if you just take a few classes, it will start to inspire you to produce something that you haven't done before, or think about something in a new way or a new approach, right? Because there are different techniques. Even if you're like, oh, I already know how to draw, maybe you don't know how to draw using, a different kind of material. It's just a fun way to start exploring. Another way, and now that things are starting to open back up, is going to some place like Michael's. I am guilty from time to time of going to Michael's. I have no idea what I want to do there, or maybe I'm just thinking about buying one thing and I come out with a lot more. That's because I get inspired, right? There's a new sticker sheet or scrapbook paper or yarn that like I could do something with this, or I want to try doing something with this. And that's all you need, right? It's that little tingle of excitement like, hey, like I want to try this. Another thing you could do is subscribe to some kind of art subscription box where you get a new art or craft a month. So I like KiwiCo. I get Sago mini kits for my kids even, so they can continue to do some creative expression. They build things out of paper and tell stories. There's definitely a lot of ways out there to try different things out. And if you're still not sure where to start from all of this, I also created a free guide called 21 Prompts to Get Clarity and Thrive, Doing the Work You Love. So that's another way where the first part, the first 7 prompts, are all about thinking back to your past, what else brought you joy, and tapping in to, when you're a little kid and everything's exciting and we don't block ourselves from avoiding to do something just because it feels hard or new or scary or different. So those are some ways to tap back into your creative expression. And I challenge you to try one new thing this week. And you can tag me at Instagram at SwishieOfficial to show off your work, or just comment below. Either way, what is one thing you're going to try this week? Because we all need a little bit more creative expression in our lives. And remember, it's all about tapping into what makes you unique as a person and expressing it out into the world. It has nothing to do with how good you're going to get, what the outcome of it is, because honestly, it is just part of the journey, not the destination.